Darkest cosmic truths, black hole. Thermodynamics, where the laws of physics twist into paradox. A black hole devours a star, and somehow the universe remembers what it consumed. A singularity hides behind an event horizon, yet radiates heat like a cosmic furnace. Entropy, formation, and quantum mechanics collide in a gravitational prison where time itself breaks down. At first, it sounds like science fiction, but this is black hole thermodynamics, the mind-warping field where Einstein's relativity shakes hands with quantum theory across the edge of oblivion. And while it appears to be abstract physics, its implications reveal how reality itself might be a hologram. Information is immortal, and the universe could be a cosmic game of smoke and mirrors. How it works? The universe's most brutal accounting system. Black holes should be simple. Matter goes in, nothing comes out. But thermodynamics, the science of heat and entropy, forces them to play by eerie rules. Hawking radiation, the quantum escape. Empty space isn't empty. Virtual particles pop in and out of existence. At a black hole's edge, one particle falls in, and the other escapes as real energy. Result: the black hole slowly evaporates, meaning even cosmic monsters die. The holographic principle, a 2D reality. All information swallowed by a black hole isn't lost. It's encoded on its event horizon. Like a DVD storing a 3D movie on a 2D surface, the universe might project reality from a lower dimensional boundary. The information paradox, physics' worst nightmare. If a black hole evaporates, does the information vanish forever? Quantum mechanics says no, but relativity says yes. Either physics is wrong or reality is an illusion. The dark twist, why this terrifies physicists. Black hole thermodynamics isn't just about space. It's a battle for the soul of physics, the firewall paradox. To preserve information, the event horizon might be a wall of fire, incinerating anything that crosses. But Einstein said falling into a black hole should feel uneventful. Who's lying? So, entropy has cosmic peak memory. A black hole's entropy disorder is proportional to its surface area, not volume. Translation: the universe might store data on boundaries, not in bulk, like a cosmic RAM chip. The end of time. At a singularity, time stops, not slows, stops. So what happens after? Does after even exist? The psychological trap. Why your brain rejects this. Black hole thermodynamics breaks intuition because it forces quantum weirdness, tiny, probabilistic, to reconcile with relativity, smooth, deterministic. It suggests information is indestructible, even when burned in a black hole. By the time you grasp one paradox, 3 more appear. How to wrap your head around it, sort of. Think in analogies. A black hole is like a frozen star. Time stops at its surface, but quantum effects leak heat. Accept the absurd. If black holes teach us anything, it's that reality doesn't owe us sensibleness. Follow the information. The real mystery isn't gravity. It's why the universe remembers everything. Beware the math. The equations work, but no one really knows what they mean. The ultimate horror. Black hole thermodynamics whispers the universe might be a simulation if information is all that matters. Cause and effect can shatter at singularities before and after, lose meaning, and the deepest truth? We might live in a cosmic magic trick where even physics is an illusion, because the darkest cosmic truths don't just defy understanding, they erase the rules of the game. At first glance, black holes seem like cosmic trash compactors. Matter goes in, nothing comes out, but lurking beyond their event horizons lies a thermodynamic nightmare where the laws of physics twist into paradox. This is black hole thermodynamics, the bizarre intersection of general relativity and quantum mechanics that reveals the 4 laws of black hole mechanics. Zeroth law, thermal equilibrium. A stationary black hole's surface gravity, K, is constant across its event horizon, just like temperature in a thermal system. First law, energy conservation. Change in mass, mo, 8p. Change in area, A, plus yo. Change in angular momentum, J, plus O. Change in charge, Q. Translation. Black holes obey an energy budget where spin and charge affect their evolution. Second law, Hawking area theorem. The total event horizon area never decreases in classical physics. Mirroring entropies rise, but quantum Hawking radiation complicates this. Third law, unreachable extremes. Yes, you can't reduce surface gravity to zero, make a cold black hole in finite time, just like absolute zero. The Hawking radiation bombshell. In 1904, Stephen Hawking proved quantum fluctuations at the event horizon cause black holes to emit thermal radiation. Smaller black holes glow hotter, T1 meh, and evaporate faster. A 1-ton black hole would blaze at 10-12 K and vanish in nanoseconds. The information paradox. When a black hole evaporates, quantum mechanics says information must be preserved. General relativity says information is destroyed at the singularity. Current best guess. Information gets scrambled under the horizon like a quantum hard drive. Why this rewrites physics, black hole, thermodynamics suggests. Entropy is holographic, proportional to surface area, not volume. The universe might encode 3D reality on 2D boundaries. Space-time itself may emerge from quantum information at boundaries. The ultimate implications. Black holes have temperature. They're not just gravity wells, but quantum thermal objects. Information is immortal, even in a black hole's grip. The universe might be a cosmic quantum computer with black holes as its most extreme processors. Key equations. Hawking temperature, TEC. Keys 38 PGMK Bose-Einstein Hawking entropy, SXA in Planck units. This isn't just astrophysics. It's a blueprint for quantum gravity and perhaps the deepest structure of reality itself. At first, light seems simple. A beam away, a particle, but shine it through 2 slits, and reality shatters. This is wave-particle duality, the quantum phenomenon, where every object in the universe exists as both a wave and a particle, until you look. And while it defies common sense, its implications rewrite what real even means. how it works. The universe's split personality, the double-slit experiment where madness begins. Fire particles, electrons, photons, at two slits act like particles. Two bands on detector act like waves. Interference pattern, light-dark bands. Quantum reality, both. Even single particles interfere with themselves. Observer effect, the death of objectivity measure which slit a particle goes through, the wave pattern vanishes. Reality changes based on observation, as if the universe rewrites history to match what you see. De Broglie, wavelength. Everything waves, all matter has wave nature. Hc Planck's constant, momentum. A baseball's wavelength, 1034 each, undetectable. And electrons, measurable and exploited in electron microscopes, the dark twist. Why this terrifies physicists. Wave-particle dualities isn't just weird, it undermines classical reality. 1. Quantum superposition. Schrödinger's cat lives here. Particles exist in all possible states, wave-like, until measured, particle-like. Implication: the moon isn't there when you're not looking. 2. Delayed choice experiments. Time-traveling logic. Decide after a particle passes the slits whether to measure its path. The particle retroactively chooses to be wave or particle. 3. Entanglement's shadow. Two particles can share a wave function, meaning measuring one instantly collapses the other's state, even light years away. The psychological trap, why your brain rejects this causality, dies. Effects can precede causes in delayed choice tests. Localities. Entanglement links particles faster than light. Objectivity's reality requires an observer. How to grok it, sort of. Think probability wave. A particle isn't here or there. It's a cloud of maybes until pinned down. Embrace and over-or. Quantum systems don't switch between wave/particle. They're both at once. Forget visualization. If you understand it without math, you're wrong. The ultimate horror. Wave-particle duality proves reality is contextual. Properties don't exist until measured. The universe is a math equation. The physical world is just shadows on Plato's cave. And your observation forces the universe to pick a side. Because the deepest quantum truths don't just bend the rules, they set the rules on fire. Key equations, de Broglie. Wavelength, L-H Heisenberg. Uncertainty, Dex deep, EH2. The invisible treacle of the universe. At first glance, empty space seems like nothing. But hidden in the quantum void is a cosmic molasses that gives mass to everything, the Higgs field. This omnipresent energy field is why some particles lumber like elephants, while others zip like ghosts. And while its discovery in 20 crowned the standard model, its deeper implications reveal how mass itself might be an illusion. How it works. Cosmic drag racing. The universal syrup. The Higgs field permeates all space like an invisible quantum honey. Particles moving through it feel drag. This resistance is what we call mass. Cool. The Higgs boson, a ripple in the syrup smash particles, fast enough, like at the LHC. And you can polish the field, creating a Higgs boson. This particle is not the field itself. just proof the field exists. 3. The mass lottery. Top quarks plow through like sumo wrestlers in the syrup, very massive. Photons skate across untouched, massless. Electrons, a middleweight drizzle, the dark twist. Why this rewrites reality. The Higgs mechanism isn't just about mass. It suggests 1. Most of your mass isn't Higgs, given 9% of your weight comes from gluon energy in protons, only 1% from Higgs. You're mostly just quantum foam in a trench coat. The field could be dying. The Higgs current energy state might be metastable, meaning the universe could one day quantum tunnel into oblivion. It might explain dark matter. Some theories suggest dark matter particles interact weakly with the Higgs, hinting at hidden cosmic layers. The psychological trap. Why mass feels solid. The Higgs field makes a mockery of intuition. Solidity is just successful resistance to motion. Empty space is more real than atoms. The field's energy dwarfs matter's. By the time you grasp it, you realize you've never touched anything. How to explain it to your past self. The snowy field analogy. Imagine us as a snowy field. Photons, skiers, no so sticks. Electrons, hikers, boots gather some snow. Top quarks, snowplows buried in the stuff. The celebrity party model. Higgs bosons are like paparazzi. Unknown particles, Z-listers, walk through unnoticed. Famous particles, electrons, attract some attention. A-listers, top quarks, get mobbed, slowing them down. The cosmic treacle test. If you could turn off the Higgs field, electrons would zoom at light speed, no atoms would disintegrate, no stable matter. You'd cease to exist in 10 hours, 20 seconds. The ultimate horror. The Higgs field whispers, you're just a fluctuation in an ancient energy ocean. The universe didn't need mass. It's an accident of cooling. And one day, this quantum house of cards might collapse. Because the darkest cosmic truths don't just explain reality, they dissolve it. Key equation, particle mass, m equals g. Coupling strength, x Higgs vacuum expectation value. The universe's greatest conspiracy. At first glance, the cosmos seems to obey simple rules. Gravity pulls, light reveals, matter builds. But look closer, and the universe is lying to you. Galaxies spin too fast. Their stars should fly apart. The cosmos expands faster and faster against all gravitational logic. Over 95% of reality is invisible. This is the dark universe, where two phantom forces, dark matter and dark energy, dictate cosmic fate while remaining utterly unseen, and their secrets may rewrite physics itself. Dark matter, the invisible scaffolding, what we know, acts like gravitational glue holding galaxies together, outweighs normal matter. 5.1 doesn't emit, absorb, or reflect light, only interacts via gravity. The evidence, galactic rotation curves. Stars orbit galaxies too fast for visible mass alone. Implies a halo of dark matter envelops each galaxy. Gravitational lensing, massive galaxy clusters bend light more than their visible mass allows. Cosmic microwave background. The early universe's structure requires extra invisible mass to form galaxies. The theories and why they're unsatisfying. WIMPs, weakly interacting massive particles. Hypothetical particles that barely touch normal matter. Problem: decades of detectors like LUX found nothing. Actions: ultralight quantum fluffs. Hope: experiments like ADMX hunt them now. Modified gravity. MOND: maybe gravity works differently at galactic scales? Controversy: fits some data but fails galaxy cluster tests. The dark twist: dark matter might be multiple things, or worse, a sign that gravity is fundamentally misunderstood. We're like fish unaware of the ocean we swim in. Dark energy, the cosmic saboteur. What we know: a repulsive force accelerating the universe's expansion, comprises quart of the universe's energy, acts like anti-gravity, stretching parts itself. The evidence: supernova surprise in 1998. Distant exploding stars were fainter than expected. Space was stretching faster over time, I betcha. Tome. Large-scale structure. Galaxy clusters fly apart faster than gravity allows. Flat universe problem. The cosmos geometry requires extra stuff we can't see. The theories, and why they're terrifying. Cosmological constant, or Einstein's biggest blunder, might be real. Empty space has intrinsic energy. Problem: predicts 20 times stronger than observed. Worst theory ever. That still fits. Quintessence: a dynamic energy field that evolves. Hope: could explain why acceleration started late. Vacuum: metastability. Dark energy might be a false vacuum. One day, it could rewrite physics in a cosmic bubble of doom. The dark twist. Dark energy hints that the universe is fine-tuned to expand forever. One day, galaxies beyond our local group will vanish, red-shifted into oblivion. We might be living in a doomed pocket of stability. The psychological trap. The dark universe preys on human limits. We evolved to see 0.5% of reality. Visible matter. Our math keeps failing. Quantum gravity, new particles. By the time we solve it, the cosmos may be empty. How to defend your sanity. Embrace the unknown. Data reality is literally invisible. That's not a gap, it's the story. Follow the experiments. Dark matter hunters. Lux Zeppelin WIMPs. ADMX Atkins Chicouch. Primordial black holes. Dark energy mappers. DESI. Euclid. LSST. Scanning billions of galaxies for clues. Question everything. Maybe dark matter is modified gravity. Maybe dark energy is a sign of extra dimensions. Or maybe we're asking the wrong questions. The ultimate horror. The dark universe whispers, you are a flicker in a shadow play. The cosmos is a puppet show, and 95% of the strings are hidden. One day, even the shadows will fade, because the darkest cosmic truths don't just humble us, they erase the stage. Key equations. Friedman equation, H2 equals 8pg3r, Ka2 plus L3. Critical density, RC, H3H2, 8pg. At first glance, barriers seem absolute. A ball rolling up a hill stops and falls back. Classic physics. But in the quantum realm, particles vanish from one side of a wall and reappear on the other as if reality itself has a glitch. This is quantum tunneling, where the impossible becomes routine, and the universe's most fundamental rules break down in plain sight. How it works. The quantum Houdini act, the classical versus quantum showdown, classical world. Need energy to overcome a barrier? No energy equals no passage. Quantum world. Particles exist as probability waves. Where the wave almost dies out, there's still a tiny chance the particle teleports. Digital. The math of impossible leaps. Schrödinger's equation allows solutions where a particle leaks through barriers. Probability drops exponentially with barrier width height, but never quite hits zero. 3. Real-world magic. Nuclear fusion. Protons tunnel through Coulomb barriers powering stars and H-bombs. Electronics, flash memory, tunnel dotates, they all rely on tunneling. DNA mutations. Proton tunneling may cause spontaneous genetic errors. The dark twist. Why this terrifies physicists. Quantum tunneling isn't just weird, it rewrites causality. The universe plays dice with your fate. A single tunneling electron can trigger a mutation leading to cancer. No cause, no reason, just probability. Time's illusion. Tunneling happens instantaneously. No time passes mid-barrier. Some interpretations suggest particles take imaginary time paths. Yes, one time. 3. False vacuum decay. The Higgs field could tunnel to a lower energy state, erasing physics as we know it. The psychological trap. Why your brain rejects this barriers should block. Evolution hardwired us to think so. Effects should have causes. Tunneling laughs at determinism. By the time you accept it, reality feels like a simulation. How to grok it, sort of. The foggy window analogy. Imagine a particle as a drunk person trying to leave a bar. Classical. No energy to open door, trapped. Quantum. Keep stumbling into walls until, poof, they're outside. The lottery ticket rule. For any given particle, tunneling's like winning the lottery. Unlikely, but given enough tries, embrace the absurd. If someone says they understand tunneling intuitively, they're lying. The ultimate horror quantum tunneling proves reality has cheat codes. Impossible is just improbable. And your existence may hinge on a trillion quantum dice rolls, because the darkest quantum truths don't just bend the rules. They prove there are no rules. Key equation, transmission. Probability, H, the standard model. Physics' greatest triumph and most embarrassing secret. At first glance, it's a masterpiece. A single equation describing every fundamental particle and force except gravity. But look closer, and the standard model is a cobbled-together relic, held together by duct tape and hope. It predicts with insane precision, yet whispers that we're missing almost everything. How? It works. The universe's Lego set 1, the particle zoo, where the madness starts. Matter particles, fermions, quarks, up, down, charm, strange, top, bottom. The building blocks of protons, neutrons. Leptons, electrons, muons tusk their ghostly neutrinos. Force carriers, bosons, photon, light, glowing, strong force, Gauss, weak force, Higgs, mass, antimatter. Every particle has a sinister twin, same mass, opposite charge. The forces and their awkward exile. Electromagnetism, photons, G, binds atoms, makes light. Strong force, gluons, Ga, glues quarks, powers nukes. Weak force, WZ bosons causes radioactive decay. Gravity coughs awkwardly. Not invited. 3. The Higgs mechanism. The party crasher, the Higgs field, gives mass to WZ bosons and fermions, but not photons or gluons. Why? Because symmetry breaking. Just nod. The dark twist. Why physicists hate love. The standard model is too precise to ignore, too ugly to love. It's ridiculously accurate. Predicts the electron's magnetic moment to 12 decimal places. Found the Higgs boson exactly where it said. But clearly incomplete ignores gravity. General relativity won't talk to quantum physics. No dark matter particle. WIMPs? Actions? Who knows? With arbitrary constants. Masses, couplings. Why these numbers? The neutrino betrayal. Neutrinos change flavor. Oscillate mid-flight, proving they have mass. Problem. The standard model said they were massless. Oops! The psychological trap, why it feels wrong. It's a Frankenstein model. Forces work differently. Electroweak unification at high energy? Sure, why not? It's too perfect. Like finding a bike that shouldn't balance, yet never falls. By the time you learn it, you realize it's probably wrong. How to pretend you understand it. The generations cop-out. Matter comes in 3 identical but heavier copies. First gen, up, down quarks, electron, normal stuff. Second, third gen, charm, strange, top, bottom, muon, tau, cosmic redundancy. Why? 2. Feynman diagrams, doodles of power. Draw squiggly lines, it'll predict particle collisions. Real physicists. It's just math. Everyone else, it's wizardry. The shut up and calculate escape. Don't ask why the constants are what they are. Just use them. The ultimate horror. The standard model whispers, we've solved finality, and the rest might be unsolvable. The universe runs on a janky operating system. And your body is just up quarks, down quarks, and regret. Because the darkest truth in physics isn't that we're wrong, it's that we're right, and it still doesn't make sense. Key equation. Lagrangian, the one equation to rule them all. It's as utiliseras. One KF men F limit plus d mas Prustimate abaj psagit plus IH dicet. You stand on Earth, feeling its pull, a force, invisible and steady. But Einstein rewrote the script. Gravity isn't a force at all. It's the universe itself warping under the weight of matter and energy. This is general relativity, the theory that turns space and time into a 4-dimensional fabric where planets, stars, and black holes don't just move through space, they bend the stage itself, how it works. The universe, as a trampoline, space-time, the fabric of reality. Imagine space and time as a stretchy sheet. Place a bowling ball, a star on it. The sheet curves. Roll a marble, a planet nearby. It spirals into the dent. That's orbit. 2. The equations that bend. Reality. Einstein's field equations have been ktumet, left side, gemet, bull. How space curves, right side, damn in, matter and energy, telling it how to curve. Gravity's greatest hits. Mercury's orbit. Newton's gravity failed. Relativity fixed it. Light bending. Stars move during eclipses. Light warps around the sun. Time slows down. Jeep satellites tick faster than Earth clocks. Relativity corrected it. The dark twist. Why this terrifies physicists. General relativity isn't just about planets. It predicts the end of physics. Black holes, where relativity breaks. At a singularity, space-time curvature becomes infinite. Equations explode, physics quits. Tup. The expanding universe and its dark secret. Relativity allows for cosmic acceleration, dark energy. But why is it accelerating? No one knows. 3. Time travel's loophole. Wormholes, theoretical shortcuts in space-time, could allow it. But quantum effects probably collapse them instantly. The psychological trap. Why your brain rejects this. Space shouldn't bend. We evolved to think in straight lines. Time shouldn't be relative. A second feels like a second, unless you're near a black hole. By the time you grasp it, the universe feels like a Salvador Dali painting. How to explain it to a skeptic? The elevator thought experiment. In a windowless elevator accelerating upward, you can't tell if gravity or motion causes your weight. Conclusion. Gravity and acceleration are the same thing, the twin paradox. One twin rockets near light speed returns younger. Why? High speed? Go. Time slows for them. The rubber sheet. Trick. Stretch a sheet, roll balls on it, watch orbits form naturally. The ultimate horror. General relativity whispers, the universe is a shape-shifting labyrinth. Time is a direction you can bend, and you're just a wrinkle in space-team's fabric. Because the darkest cosmic truths don't just defy intuition, they erase the ground beneath your feet. Key equation, Einstein's field equations, Gmn plus logma 8pgc4 10. At this exact moment, your head is older than your feet. A clock on a GPS satellite ticks faster than your phone. If you drove past a light at 99% light speed, your car would flatten like a pancake, but you wouldn't notice. This is special relativity, Einstein's revelation that time and space are fluid, warped by motion in ways that defy common sense. And while it sounds like science fiction, it's the reason your phone's Jeep works and proof that reality itself is an illusion. How it works. The rules of the cosmic speed limit 1. The speed of light is the universe's traffic cop. No matter how fast you move toward or away from light, it always zooms past you at 2 consequence. Time and space must bend to keep light's speed constant. Time dilation, the ultimate jet lag. The faster you move, the slower your clock ticks compared to someone at rest. Real-world proof? Atomic clocks on jets tick nanoseconds slower than ground clocks. Muons, cosmic particles, survive longer when moving near light speed. Length contraction, the cosmic pancake effect. At relativistic speeds, distances shrink in your direction of motion. To a stationary observer, your car would look squashed, but to you, the entire universe flattens instead. Relativity of simultaneity, the death of now. Two events happening at the same time depends on who's watching. Example, a train lightning strike seen as simultaneous by someone on the platform, but not by someone on the train. The dark twist, why this, rewrites reality. Special relativity isn't just math, it erases absolute truth. One, you're now my now. There is no universal present, just personal slices of space-time. The twin paradox. One twin rockets to space at near light speed, returns to find their sibling decades older. 3. E equal mc2, the universe's cheat code. Mass and energy are the same thing, locked together by light speed's square. Why nukes work? A tiny bit of mass, slow, unthinkable energy. The psychological trap, why your brain rejects this time, feels constant. But it's as flexible as taffy. Distances feel fixed, but motion smears them. By the time you accept it, you realize you've never experienced true simultaneity. How to explain it to a 5-year-old? The cosmic speedometer trick. Imagine light as a car always going 100 miles, no matter how fast you drive toward it. How? Your watch slows down to make it true. The twin teleport. One twin flies to space at almost light speed, comes back to find their sibling old and gray. The pancake universe. Drive fast enough, and the whole cosmos flattens like a pancake in your rear view, the ultimate horror. Special relativity proves the present is an illusion. Your body is a time machine, and you're already time-traveling into the future, just very, very slowly, because the darkest truths of physics don't just bend reality, they shatter your perception of it. Key equation, time dilation. Dit excludes where 1, V2C2. One twin stays on Earth. The other blasts off at near light speed, loops back, and lands to find their sibling decades older. This isn't sci-fi. It's the twin paradox, the most mind-bending consequence of Einstein's relativity. And while it seems impossible, it's 100% real physics, proven by atomic clocks on jets and satellites. How it works. The asymmetry of time. Travel on the setup, twin A. Earthbound. Sips coffee, watches the years pass. Twin B. Astronaut. Zooms away at 90% light speed, turns around, comes home. The relativity twist. From twin B to perspective, time on Earth appears to slow down, time dilation. Earth's distance shrinks, length contraction. From twin A's perspective, twin B's clock ticks slower the whole trip. The parad and its resolution seems symmetric. So why isn't twin A younger, too? The catch. Twin B accelerates to turn around, breaking symmetry. Acceleration equals absolute effect, unlike constant velocity. The dark twist. Why this terrifies physicists. The twin paradox isn't just a thought experiment. It proves time is malleable. Your satellites live it daily. Orbiting clocks tick microseconds faster than Earth's, corrected by relativity. Future colonists could outlive Earth. A 10-year near-light speed trip might return you to a dead civilization. 3. Your head is older than your feet. Gravity, general relativity, plus motion, special relativity, equals your body is a time gradient. How to explain it without math? The text message lag analogy. Twin Bee ship sends yearly messages, but Earth gets them slower and slower as they accelerate away. Turnaround is compressed backlog of messages. Earth's time catches up. The cosmic U-turn rule. The twin who changes velocity, stops, turns, is the one who ages less. The ticking bomb test. Put a bomb on each twin ship, set to explode in 10 years. Twin A's bomb goes off first, the ultimate horror. The twin paradox whispers, time isn't universal. It's personal. You could outlive everyone you love by going for a drive. And the scariest part, it's already happening, just too slowly to see. Because the darkest truths of physics don't just bend time, they shatter your place in it. Key equation. Time elapsed on Earth. Data equal time elapsed on ship. Touchka ostetkishi. Where till one v depths. You place a single electron in a box. Before you look, it isn't here or there. It's both places at once and everywhere in between. This is quantum superposition, the phenomenon where particles exist in multiple states simultaneously until measured. And while it defies all common sense, it's the reason quantum computers can crack unbreakable codes, and why reality itself might be a probability cloud. How it works. The universe's dice roller, the Schrodinger's cat paradox, but real. A quantum system, electron-photon atom, doesn't choose a state until observed. Example, an electron in an atom isn't in an orbit. It's a fuzzy probability smear around the nucleus. The wave function, reality's blueprint. A particle is described by KPSI, a probability wave encoding all possible states. Collapses to a single outcome when measured. Quantum interference, the ghostly handshake. Superposed states can interfere with themselves. See double-slit experiment. Proof. Particles act like waves, unless you spy on them. The dark twist. Why this rewrites existence. Superposition isn't just weird, it erases classical reality. Quantum computers exploit it. Qubits in superposition compute all possibilities at once, until measured. The measurement problem. Why does observation collapse psi? No one knows. Leading theories. Copenhagen. Interpretation. Consciousness causes collapse. Spooky. Many worlds. Every outcome happens. We just see one branch. Terrifying. The quantum suicide thought experiment. A superpositioned gun both fires and doesn't fire, implying you're immortal in some timelines. The psychological trap. Why your brain short circuits. Objects should have definite states. Evolution didn't prepare us for quantum fog. Causality should be linear. Superposition laughs at before and after. By the time you accept it, you're questioning whether you exist in superposition. How to grok it to badly, the dreaming cat analogy. Schrodinger's cat isn't dead or alive. It's dreaming all possible outcomes until you open the box. The quantum democracy rule. Every possible state gets a vote, but measurement rigs the election. The foggy window trick. A superposed particle is like a face pressed against fogged glass, blurry and everywhere, until wiped clean, measured. The ultimate horror quantum superposition proves. Reality is a buffet where you must choose a plate, but the food exists only when you look. You've never truly seen an object, just the version it decided to show you. And the universe, it runs on maybe by default. Because the darkest quantum truths don't just defy logic, they dissolve the stage you're standing on. Key equation, wave function, collapse. Lie, where I is the measured state. You try to pin down an electron's position, but its velocity becomes a blur. You measure its speed perfectly, and suddenly, where it is becomes unknowable. This isn't a measurement flaw. It's Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, the fundamental law that says the more you know about one quantum property, the less you can know about another. And while it sounds like a technicality, it's the reason atoms don't collapse, quantum weirdness exists, and reality itself is built on ambiguity. How it works. The universe's built-in blur 1, the trade-off from hell. For any particle, H2, uncertainty in position, uncertainty in momentum, Planck's constant, translation. You can't precisely know both where something is and how fast it's moving. Not a measurement problem, a reality problem. This isn't about bad tools. The particle itself doesn't have exact values until measured. 3. Wave-particle dualities, price tag. A particle's wave nature means it's spread out in space. Dextra. Its momentum is fuzzy. P. Squeeze its position. Dec. Its wavelength, and thus momentum, explodes in uncertainty. The dark twist. Why this terrifies physicists. The uncertainty principle isn't just math. It shreds classical determinism. Atoms shouldn't exist, but do. If electrons could sit perfectly still at a point, they'd spiral into the nucleus. Uncertainty keeps them buzzing in fuzzy orbits. Quantum fluctuations, the universe's jitters. Empty space isn't empty. Virtual particles blip in out of existence thanks to dead uncertainty. 3. The demon that kills Laplace's dream. Newtonian physics claimed, know everything now, predict everything forever. Heisenberg says, nope, reality is fundamentally unknowable. The psychological trap, why your brain fights. This, objects should have definite properties. Evolution trained us to think so. Causality should be predictable. The universe disagrees. By the time you accept it, you realize precision is an illusion. How to explain it to a skeptic. The speeding ticket analogy. A cop tries to measure your car's speed and position. Laser, precise position, can't track speed. Radar, precise speed, can't pinpoint location. The quantum microphone test. A particle's position is like a sound's volume. Its momentum is like pitch. Turn up volume, pinpoint location, pitch becomes noise. The blurry photo rule. A sharp snapshot dextria needs a long exposure. Motion blurs deep. A freeze frame DP needs a quick flash. Location is fuzzy. Dextru, the ultimate horror. The uncertainty principle whispers. Reality is a game of quantum whack-a-mole. The universe runs on ignorance. And you're just a statistical fluctuation in the noise, because the darkest quantum truths don't just limit knowledge. They erase the idea of certainty entirely. Key equation. Heisenberg's inequality. Next step. equals h plus 2 energy time. Uncertainty, dE dit is h2. You zoom in on an electron past atoms, quarks, and quantum foam until you find not a point, but a tiny vibrating string. This is string theory, the audacious idea that all particles are just different notes on microscopic strings. And the universe is a 10-dimensional symphony. It promises to unify gravity and quantum mechanics. But after 50 years, it's still mathematically dazzling, yet experimentally unproven. How it works. The universe as a cosmic guitar, from particles to strings, standard model. Particles, electrons, quarks, etc. 0D points, 1D vibrating strings. Different vibrations, different particles, like guitar strings playing EXMC2, extra dimensions, the hidden curves. Strings need 10 and space-time dimensions to work versus our boring 4D universe. The extra 6 dimensions are compactified, curled up smaller than a quark 3. Unification's holy grail string theory includes gravity, unlike the standard model. A single framework could explain all forces and matter. The dark twist, why physicists are losing faith. String theory's beauty is also its curse, the landscape problem. The math allows one of us possible universes. Which one is ours? Criticism. If it predicts everything, does it predict anything? No. Experimental proof strings vibrate at the Planck scale, 10 to 35 trillions times smaller than we can probe. Years in, zero direct evidence. 3. Black hole, firewall paradox. String theory clashes with quantum mechanics over whether black holes destroy information. The psychological trap, why we can't quit it. It's too elegant to abandon. The math is perfect. For a universe we can't see. There's no better alternative. Quantum gravity remains unsolved. By the time you master it, you've spent your career in a theoretical cul-de-sac. How to explain it to a frustrated physicist? The Rubik's Cube analogy. String theory is like solving a 10D cube. Beautiful, but you might die before finishing. The theory of everything, maybe. Joke. It's either the ultimate truth or the most elaborate wrong turn in science history. The cosmic orchestra. Dream? If proven, the universe would be a mathematical melody. We just can't hear the notes yet. The ultimate horror string theory whispers the truth might be unknowable. Math and reality could divorce forever. And you might be a vibration in an unprovable dimension, because the darkest truths in physics aren't just hidden, they might be fundamentally out of reach. Key equation. String length, LS, A, where A is the string tension. You flip a coin. It lands heads. But in another universe, it lands tails. And both outcomes are equally real. This is the multiverse hypothesis, the radical idea that our universe is just one bubble in an infinite cosmic froth, where every possible quantum outcome, physical constant, and historical event plays out somewhere. It solves existential puzzles by making reality infinitely bigger and infinitely lonelier. How it works. Reality's endless fractal quantum multiverse, many worlds interpretation. Every quantum decision branches into parallel timelines. You stay on one branch, but other use live every alternative. inflationary multiverse, eternal chaos. Cosmic inflation never fully stops. Pocket universes bubble up endlessly. Each has different physics, some with no atoms, some with 17-dimensional cheese. Trotsky, Tarty, string theory landscape, different universes. String theory's math allows every possible constant combination. We just got lucky, so true. Mathematical multiverse, Tegmark's madness. Every mathematically possible structure exists somewhere, including universes made of pure tax forms. The dark twist. Why this terrifies scientists. The multiverse isn't just sci-fi. It erases scientific certainty, the anthropic cop-out. Why are our laws perfect for life? Because we're in a universe where they are. Criticism. This explains nothing. It's like saying birds fly because they're in the skies. Unfalsifiability, the death of science? If we can't observe other universes, is this even science or philosophy? See, Boltzmann brains. In infinite chaos, self-aware atoms should randomly form in voids. Are you a Boltzmann brain hallucinating this text? The psychological trap, why we can't ignore it. It solves fine-tuning by making it meaningless. It turns cosmology into a cosmic lottery. By the time you accept it, you're either enlightened or nihilistic. How to explain it to a skeptic? The quantum Netflix analogy reality is a streaming service where every show plays simultaneously. You're just stuck on one buffer, the Library of Babel thought experiment. Jorge Luis Borges's infinite library contains every possible book. Most are gibberish. The multiverse is worse. Most universes are dead voids. The pessimistic meta-induction joke, all past scientific theories were wrong, so ours is too. The multiverse embraces this by making all possibilities true somewhere, the ultimate horror. The multiverse whispers, "You're not special. You're not even unlikely. Every tragedy and joy is replayed infinitely." And the cosmos? It's less a creation and more a statistical inevitability, because the darkest cosmic truths don't just expand reality. They dissolve its meaning entirely. Key variance. Level 1. Infinite Hubble volumes, our physics, different initial conditions. Level 2. Bubble universes, different constants. Level 3. Quantum branches, many worlds. Level 4. Mathematical structures. Tegmark. You place two metal plates almost touching in a vacuum, just nanometers apart. Classically, nothing should happen. But in reality, the plates slam together with invisible force. This is the Casimir Effect, the bizarre phenomenon where empty space pushes with measurable pressure, proving that a vacuum isn't empty. It's a seething quantum foam of virtual particles, and while it seems like an obscure lab curiosity, it hints that reality is held together by atomic static. How it works. The universe's quantum crowding 1. Virtual particles. The universe's pop-up ads. Quantum mechanics allows particles to blip in out of existence, borrowing energy via Heisenberg's uncertainty. These virtual particles normally vanish instantly, but not between plates. The plate squeeze between plates only certain wavelengths fit, like musical notes in a pipe. Outside all wavelengths exist, Result: more virtual particles outside push the plates together. 3. The math of nothingness, Casimir force per unit area, Fa. Each os x P208, 240 D4, D's plate separation, negative sign, Asios, attraction, the dark twist. Why this rewrites reality. The Casimir effect isn't just a lab trick. It exposes quantum field theories, nightmares, vacuum catastrophe. The energy density of virtual particles should curve the universe into a black hole. Reality, it doesn't. Why? No one knows. 2. Negative energy and wormholes. Manipulating Casimir forces could, theoretically, create exotic matter for warp drives. 3. The quantum suicide test. If virtual particles are real enough to move plates, can they kill you? No, probably. The psychological trap. Why your brain short circuits. Empty space should be empty, but it's more crowded than a Tokyo subway. Forces should need sources. The Casimir force runs on absence. By the time you accept it, you're breathing in quantum chaos. How to explain it to a mortal? The pool noodle analogy. Imagine virtual particles as pool noodles. Between plates, only short noodles fit. Outside, all noodles thrash freely. The longer noodles push the plates together. The ghost wind test. Hold 2 sheets of paper close. They're pushed apart by air. The Casimir effect is the opposite, a sucking ghost wind. The cosmic overcrowding rule space is so packed with quantum noise that even nothingness exerts pressure. The ultimate horror. The Casimir effect whispers, nothing is an illusion. The universe is held together by quantum debt. And you're just a fluctuation in the static. Because the darkest quantum truths don't just defy logic, they haunt the void itself. Key equation, Casimir force, parallel plates, Fa, as Bau-2HC, 240 D4. A neutrino leaves the sun as an electron neutrino. By the time it reaches Earth, it's a muon neutrino, or a tau neutrino, or maybe all 3 at once. This is neutrino oscillation, the bizarre quantum phenomenon where ghostly particles shapeshift mid-flight, proving they have mass and defying the standard model's predictions. And while it sounds like sci-fi, it's the reason we're here. Without it, the sun wouldn't shine, supernovae wouldn't explode, and the universe might not exist at all. How it works. Quantum flavor shifting 1. The 3 neutrino flavors electron neutrino, born in the sun's fusion, M muon neutrino, made in cosmic ray collisions, and T tau neutrino, the heaviest, rarest variant. The mass mystery. Neutrinos should be massless, per the standard model. But oscillations require mass, because only massive particles experience time dilation, allowing flavor mixing, the math of metamorphosis. Oscillation probability depends on M2, mass difference between states, ALE, distance traveled, neutrino energy. Result? A neutrino's flavor cycles like a pendulum as it travels. The dark twist. Why this terrifies physicists. Neutrino oscillations aren't just weird. They expose cracks in reality's foundation. The standard model is broken. If neutrinos have mass, why? New physics? Extra dimensions? 2. Matter 1 over antimatter. Maybe because of this? Oscillations might explain why the universe isn't pure light. Neutrinos could have tipped the balance. 3. Sterile neutrinos. The hidden fourth flavor? Some experiments detect missing oscillations, hinting at a phantom neutrino that doesn't interact with anything. The psychological trap. Why your brain rejects this. Particles should have fixed identities. Neutrinos laugh at labels. Massless should mean massless. The universe cheats. By the time you accept it, you're questioning if you have a fixed identity. How to explain it to a 5-year-old. The ice cream truck analogy. A neutrino is like an ice cream truck driving through neighborhoods. Starts as vanilla, Ni. Passes through Chocolate Town, becomes NOM. Reaches Strawberryville, turns into NT. But it's still the same truck. The quantum werewolf rule neutrinos are normal by day, one flavor, but transform under the moonlight, travel distance. The Schrodinger's flavor test. Until you detect a neutrino, it's all flavors at once, a quantum smoothie. The ultimate horror. Neutrino oscillations whisper, reality is a masquerade. The laws of physics are provisional, and you're made of stardust filtered through quantum chaos. Because the darkest particle truths don't just defy expeditions, they dissolve them entirely. Key equation, oscillation, probability, pain, LSE. At the heart of every atom, protons and neutrons are not solid balls. They're quarks seething in a quantum tornado, held together by the strongest force in nature. This is quantum chromodynamics, QCD, the theory of the strong nuclear force, where particles called gluons unleash a bizarre form of bondage. The harder you pull quarks apart, the stronger they cling. And while it explains why matter exists, it also reveals a world where empty space is stronger than steel, and reality is held together by pure rage. How it works. The rules of quantum slavery. Quarks and color charge. The prisoners. Quarks come in 3 colors, red, green, blue, not real colors, but quantum labels. Rule 1. All particles must be color neutral, like orange blending to white. Gluons, the sadistic jailers. Gluons carry the strong force, whipping quarks into shape. Unlike photons, which weaken with distance, gluons get stronger when quarks try to escape. Confinement, the ultimate lockdown. Try to isolate a quark? The energy creates new quarks, like snapping a rubber band. It just makes more rubber bands. Result: free quarks don't exist in nature. Asymptotic freedom, the Stockholm syndrome. At extremely short distances, like inside protons, quarks act almost free. At larger distances, total lockdown, the dark twist. Why this terrifies physicists. QCD isn't just about protons. It predicts a universe stranger than sci-fi bets. The proton spin crisis. A proton spin should come from its quarks, but only 30% does. The rest? Gluons and quantum foam are in revolt. Quark-gluon plasma, the universe's first soup. At trillions of degrees, like post-Big Bang, quarks and gluons melt into liquid fire. We've recreated this at the LHC, and it's weirder than expected. 3. The vacuum is alive. Empty space isn't empty. It's a quantum battlefield of gluon fields. This ghost energy might explain dark energy. The psychological trap, why your brain rejects these forces, should weaken with distance. Gravity does. Electromagnetism does. The strong force punishes escape attempts. Particles should be separable. QCD says, try it and the universe fights back. By the time you accept it, you realize even vacuum is a war zone. How to explain it to a mortal? The rubber band analogy, stretch a quark away. The gluon field snaps back, creating new quarks. Result, you never get a free quark, just more bound pairs. The quantum mafia rule. Quarks are like mobsters. Close together, they chat freely. Try to leave, the gluons break their legs. The nuclear Stockholm Syndrome test. Quarks could escape if they wanted, but they've grown to love their prison. The ultimate horror CD whispers, matter is built on tyranny. Freedom is a quantum illusion, and you're just a temporary arrangement of quarks waiting to be recycled. Because the darkest truths of physics don't just explain nature, they reveal its inherent violence. Key equation, Q seed Lagrangian, L excl. 1/4 fov plus igudu m. You sit down and your atoms don't collapse. Electrons don't merge. Matter stays solid. This isn't luck. It's the Pauli exclusion principle, the quantum rule that no two identical fermions, like electrons, can occupy the same state at the same time. It's the reason atoms have structure, chemistry exists, and you aren't a puddle of quantum soup. But beneath its mundane facade lies a terrifying truth. Without this rule, reality would dissolve into chaos. How it works. Nature's ultimate no roommates policy, the quantum fingerprint. Fermions, electrons, protons, quarks must differ in at least one quantum number, spin or energy level, orbital shape. Result, electrons stack in shells, building the periodic table. 2. Degeneracy pressure, the universe's anti-collapse force. When atoms are squeezed, like in a dying star, electrons resist compression because they can't occupy the same state. This creates white dwarfs, Earth-sized stellar corpses. 3. The neutron star edge case. If gravity overpowers electron degeneracy, electrons fuse with protons or neutrons. Now, neutron degeneracy pressure fights back, creating neutron stars. The dark twist, why this terrifies physicists. The Pauli principle isn't just about chemistry. It defines the line between existence and oblivion. Without it, atoms would implode, all electrons would crash into the lowest energy state, no chemistry, no life. Black holes cheat it. Past the event horizon, all particles become identical, same quantum state. Implies the singularity might be a Pauli-violating abyss. The Sudzi loophole, hypothetical supersymmetric particles, bosons, ignore Pauli's rule. If they exist, they could condense into bizarre matter, the psychological trap. Why your brain ignores this. Solids feel continuous, but they're 9999% empty space, held rigid by quantum refusal. Identity seems trivial. Pauli says, difference is the only thing keeping you whole. By the time you accept it, you realize your body is a quantum standoff. How to explain it to a 5-year-old? The bus seat rule analogy. Electrons are like kids on a bus. Each needs their own seat, quantum state. No sharing chairs. Pauli says no. The quantum musical chairs get game. When atoms form, electrons rush to claim chairs. Once all chairs are taken, newcomers must sit farther away, higher energy levels. The neutron star tango. In a neutron star, particles dance cheek to cheek, but still technically follow Pauli's rules, the ultimate horror. The Pauli exclusion principle whispers, existence is a quantum traffic jam. Your body is a trillion electrons screaming, mine! And the universe? It's one violated law away from collapse. Because the darkest quantum truths don't just explain stability, they reveal how fragile it really is. Key, quote, no two electrons can have the same set of quantum numbers. Wolfgang Pauli. You look around and think, what luck, the universe is perfectly tuned for life. But then comes the cold cosmic slap. Of course it is. You wouldn't be here to complain if it weren't. This is the Anthropic Principle, the philosophical razor that cuts through cosmic fine-tuning debates by stating, the universe must allow observers because we're here to observe it. It's either a profound insight into reality or the ultimate scientific cop-out. How it works. Survivorship bias on a cosmic scale. Weak Anthropic Principle. The duh version. We observe the universe because our existence requires its laws. Example. If gravity were slightly stronger, stars would burn out too fast for life. But it's not. So here we are. Strong Anthropic Principle, the creepy version. The universe must produce observers at some point. Implies consciousness is somehow fundamental, a favorite of mystic physicists. 3. Participatory Anthropic Principle, the quantum ego trip. Observers create reality by observing it. Thanks, quantum mechanics. The dark twist. Why this terrifies scientists, the Anthropic Principle isn't just philosophy, it erodes scientific ambition. The multiverse escape hatch. If infinite universes exist with random laws, of course one got lucky. Criticism. This replaces mystery with infinite unobservable worlds. The god of the gaps redux. Every unexplained fine-tuning, like the cosmological constant, gets a shrug. Had to be that way for us. 3. Boltzmann brains in an eternal universe, random, self-aware fluctuations, Boltzmann brains, should outnumber real observers. Are you one? The psychological trap. Why your brain hates this? Science should explain why. The Anthropic Principle says, don't bother. Purpose feels meaningful. This suggests we're just statistical noise. By the time you accept it, reality feels like a glitch. How to explain it to a skeptic? The puddle analogy. A puddle marvels. This hole fits me perfectly. The Anthropic Principle replies, no, you conform to the whole. The quantum lottery rule. If you win the lottery, don't ask why me. Ask why not me. The cosmic DMV test. The universe is like a DMV with infinite lines. You had to end up in the one that worked, the ultimate horror. The Anthropic Principle whispers, the universe doesn't care about you, meaning is a side effect, and your existence, just a roll of quantum dice that happened to land right. Because the darkest truths don't just humble us, they erase the question entirely. Key. Quote, The universe is not fine-tuned for life. Life is fine-tuned to the universe. You reach out to touch a table, but what if its solidity is a lie? What if all the information in your 3D world is encoded on a distant 2D surface, like a cosmic DP? This is the holographic principle, the radical idea that our three-dimensional reality is a projection from a lower dimensional boundary. It's not just a wild theory, it's a mathematical consequence of black hole physics, suggesting that everything you see, feel, and are might be a shadow on the edge of existence. How it works. Reality, as a cosmic projector described, black holes broke physics first. When matter falls into a black hole, where does its information go? Hawking said, it's destroyed. Quantum mechanics said, no way. Solution, Bekenstein, oye, du hoofd. Susskind, the info isn't lost, it's painted on the event horizon. 2. The holographic math. The maximum entropy information in any volume scales with its surface area, not volume. Sample. A black hole's entropy equals A4, where A is horizon area in Planck units. The ADS CFT correspondence, string theory's most concrete holographic model, a 5D anti-desiccator odds equals 4D quantum field theory, CFT on its boundary. Translation, a higher dimensional universe is its lower dimensional boundary. The dark twist, why this rewrites existence. The holographic principle isn't just abstract, it threatens our perception of reality. 1. You are a 2D pixels. Your thoughts, memories, and senses could be encoded on a surface billions of light years away. Space is an emergent illusion. Distance, volume, and locality aren't fundamental, just a useful projection. The universe is a low-resolution screen. At the Planck scale, reality might be pixelated with finite information density. The psychological trap, why your brain rejects this, the world feels solid. Holography says, that's the illusion. Space seems real. Holography says it's a rendering. By the time you accept it, you're questioning if you are just data. How to explain it to a mortal? The video game analogy. Your 3D game world is just code on a 2D disk. The universe? Same trick. The shadow puppet rule. Reality is like a shadow cast by a deeper, stranger light. The pixel limit test. Zoom in enough, and reality gets blurry, because there's no more data. The ultimate horror. The holographic principle whispers, you are a ghost in a cosmic machine. The universe is a surface pretending to be a volume, and free will just a script running on the boundary, because the darkest truths don't just bend reality, they erase it entirely. Key equation, Einstein-Hawking entropy, S is A4 in Planck units. You throw a book into a black hole. According to Einstein, it's gone forever, crushed into the singularity. But quantum mechanics screams information can't be destroyed. This is the black hole information paradox, the most heated battle in physics, where general relativity and quantum mechanics wage war over the fate of reality itself, how it works. The data apocalypse, Hawking's blunder. 19 simple black holes emit radiation, Hawking radiation, and eventually evaporate. But Hawking assumed the radiation was pure thermal noise, carrying no info about what fell in. Problem: quantum mechanics demands information preservation. The paradox is the stakes. If information is lost, quantum theory breaks irreparably. If it's preserved, Einstein's relativity must be rewritten. Competing solutions, all bizarre. Remnants. Tiny, indestructible fragments hold the data forever, but where? Firewalls. The event horizon is a wall of quantum fury that burns data into radiation. Holography. Info is encoded on the horizon like a cosmic hard drive. The dark twist. Why this terrifies physicists. The paradox isn't just academic. It threatens the foundations of reality, quantum xeroxing it impossible. If black holes can destroy info, you could clone quantum states, breaking physics, too. The universe might be unknowable. If info vanishes into singularities, cosmic history is erased. 3. Holography's nightmare. If the holographic principle is true, our 3D world is a shadow, and black holes are its glitches. The psychological trap. Why your brain? Short circuits. Black holes should be simple. Instead, they're cosmic shredders with a PhD in chaos. Quantum rules should be universal. Black holes mock them. By the time you grasp the problem, you're rooting for both sides to be wrong. How to explain it to a frustrated physicist? The library fire analogy. Burning a book, black hole, turns it to ash, Hawking radiation. Quantum mechanics demands the ashes must somehow still contain the text. The Bitcoin singularity test. Imagine a crypto wallet fallen into a black hole. If the private key is truly lost, the blockchain breaks it forever. The Schrodinger's black hole. Rule until we solve it. Every black hole both destroys and preserves info, the ultimate horror. The information paradox whispers, reality's rules are incomplete. Black holes are either cosmic criminals or the universe's archivists. And the truth? It might be unknowable by design. Because the darkest cosmic secrets don't just defy physics, they hold it hostage. Key players, Hawking radiation, TXHC economic, Bose-Einstein entropy. You have 2 rule books for reality. General relativity for stars, black holes, and the cosmos. Quantum mechanics for atoms, particles, and the very small. Independently, they work flawlessly, but when they meet, like at the center of a black hole or the Big Bang, the equations explode into nonsense. This is the quantum gravity problem, the greatest unsolved mystery in physics. How does gravity work at the quantum scale? And the answer might rewrite everything. Why this is so hard. Gravity refuses to quantize. Other forces, electromagnetism, strong, weak nuclear, are carried by particles, photons, gluons, posons. But gravity, it's geometry, the bending of space-time itself. Try to chop it into gravitons, the math diverges to infinity. Gold. Black holes break physics at the singularity. Quantum uncertainty meets infinite curvature. Relativity says matter crushes to a point. Quantum mechanics says nothing can be perfectly localized. Result: the universe blue screens, the Planck scale nightmare. At 10 to 35 meters Planck length, quantum fluctuations should twist space-time into foam. But we have no theory to describe this. The contenders, all weird. Tibomet, string theory, says particles are vibrating strings and gravity just works in 10D. Problem: no experimental proof. 1 in 500 possible universes. 2. Loop quantum gravity. Space-time is woven from finite loops. No infinities allowed. Problem: can't explain the standard model. Causal dynamical triangulations. Space-time is a fractal of tiny triangles. Problem: almost too abstract to test for entanglement equals gravity, EPR. Maybe gravity is quantum entanglement. Wormholes equal entangled particles. Problem: still just a hypothesis. The stakes, why this matters, without quantum gravity, we can't understand. The Big Bang, what started it? Black hole singularities. What actually really happens there? The fabric of space-time itself. Is it continuous or pixelated? With it, we might unlock quantum space teleportation, time travel, a theory of everything, finally unifying all physics. The true nature of reality. Are we in a simulation, a hologram? The psychological toll. Relativity fans, gravity is geometry. Stop trying to quantize it. Quantum fans, everything is quantized. Gravity can't be special. The universe, LOL. After 100 years, we're still stuck. How to explain it to a frustrated friend? The marrying two dictators analogy. Unifying quantum mechanics and relativity is like forcing two stubborn kings to share a throne. They'll burn the kingdom down first. The pixelated space-time thought experiment. Imagine reality is a video game. Quantum gravity is the physics engine, but we only see the glitches. The cosmic joke. The universe runs on two operating systems that refuse to update for compatibility. The ultimate horror. Quantum gravity whispers, we might never solve this. The universe's deepest laws could be unknowable. And you're just a temporary fluctuation in the chaos. Because the darkest truth in physics isn't that we're wrong, it's that the universe might not have an answer. Key numbers: Planck length, 6 to 10 to 35 meters, where quantum gravity must matter. Planck energy, GeV, energy needed to probe it. You drop a glass, it shatters. You never see the pieces jump back together. Eggs don't unscramble, memories don't unform, and coffee always mixes with cream. This is the arrow of time, the stubborn one-way direction of events in our universe. But here's the twist. The fundamental laws of physics don't care about time's direction. So why does time feel like it only flows forward? The mystery. Physics, time, symmetry. Problem 1. Microscopic laws are timeless. Newton's laws, quantum mechanics, general relativity, they work the same backward or forward. A movie of two colliding particles looks identical played in reverse. Macroscopic reality isn't. Yet, in the real world, entropy, disorder, always increases. Second law of thermodynamics. Causality is strict. Effects follow causes, never the reverse. The Big Bang's secret role. The universe began in a low entropy state, extremely ordered. Time's arrow is the universe unraveling toward chaos. The dark twist. Why this is profoundly strange. The arrow of time isn't just about eggs, it defines existence itself. 1. Memory. relies on entropy. Your brain records the past because information requires increasing disorder. If entropy ever decreased, you wouldn't remember it happening. 2. Black holes are time bombs. They maximize entropy. Throwing a book into one erases its information. Or does it? 3. The Boltzmann brain paradox. In an eternal universe, random self-aware fluctuations should outnumber real observers. Are you a Boltzmann brain hallucinating this text? The psychological trap. Why you can't imagine time's reversal, causality, feels absolute. But physics allows time-reversed worlds, just statistically unlikely. The future seems open. Thermodynamics says it's just more disordered. By the time you accept it, you realize now is just a statistical fluke. How to explain it to a skeptic? The deck of cards analogy. A new deck is ordered, low entropy. Shuffle it, disordered, high entropy. You'll never see it shuffle back to new. The movie of the universe. Test. Play the Big Bang. Heat. Death. Forward. Makes sense. Play it backward. Looks absurd. Why was the early universe so ordered? The quantum resurrection thought experiment. If all particles could reverse, would you relive your life backward? No. You'd just statistically dissolve into chaos. The ultimate horror. The arrow of time whispers, the past is just a memory. The future is just entropy. And the present, a fleeting statistical accident. Because the darkest truth about time isn't that it flows. It's that the flow is an illusion. Key equation. Boltzmann's entropy formula. S-H-E K log. Cool a gas of bosons to near absolute zero, and something bizarre happens. Thousands of atoms merge into a single quantum wave, moving in perfect unison. This is a Bose-Einstein Condensate, BEAC, a state of matter where quantum weirdness explodes into the macroscopic world. How it works. Quantum peer pressure, 1. Bosons versus fermions. The social deviates, bosons, like photons, helium for love crowding into the same state. Fermions, like electrons, hate it. Pauli Exclusion Principle. The critical temperature. Below a certain ultra-cold threshold, bosons undergo a quantum identity crisis. Their wave functions overlap completely. They lose all individuality, becoming a superatom. The first BEAC, Nancy Cornell, Wieman, and Ketterl trapped rubidium atoms in lasers, chilled them to 170 Danic, and watched them condense into quantum sync. The dark twist. Why this rewrites reality. BCs aren't just lab curiosities. They blur the line between quantum and classical. 1. Macroscopic quantum effects. A bit can flow without friction, superfluidity. It can tunnel through barriers as one giant object, the atom laser. Unlike photons in a laser, BEACs can coherently beam matter. Simulating black holes, BEACs can mimic event horizons, letting us test quantum gravity. The psychological trap. Why your brain rejects this objects should have boundaries. A BEC laughs at personal space. Quantum weirdness should stay tiny. ABECs stretch it to visible scales. By the time you accept it, you're questioning if you have a definite shape. How to explain it to a 5-year-old? The quantum choir analogy. Normal matter equals people singing out of tune. See, sky, kias, everyone suddenly harmonizing perfectly. The ghost matter test. A Becky isn't solid, liquid, or gas. It's a quantum ghost phase. The superfluid puddle rule. Tilt a cup of BAC. It climbs out against gravity, the ultimate horror Bose-Einstein. Condensates whisper, individuality is an illusion. Reality is just waves agreeing to agree, and you're just a temporary vibration waiting to sync up. Because the darkest quantum truths don't just defy intuition, they dissolve the observer. Key equation, BEC transition temperature, TC H2N23 MK. You take a thin sheet of electrons, chill it to near absolute zero, and blast it with a magnetic field. Instead of chaos, something miraculous happens. The electrical resistance jumps in precise quantized steps, completely unaffected by impurities or material defects. This is the quantum Hall effect, QHE, a phenomenon so bizarre it forced physicists to invent new states of matter and rewrite the rules of electricity. How it works. Electrons in a quantum ballet 1, the classical Hall effect, ordinary physics. Normally, electrons in a magnetic field curve into cyclotron orbits, creating a transverse voltage. Hall voltage resistance changes smoothly with field strength. The quantum twist, 2D electrons go rogue. In ultra-thin, ultra-cold 2D materials, resistance doesn't just change. It locks into plateaus at values of He2 to 812.80. These plateaus are so precise they're used to redefine the Ohm 3, the secret, topology rules. Electrons don't just orbit. They form edge states that flow perfectly around the material's boundary. These states are topologically protected, immune to defects like a Mobius strip refusing to untwist. The dark twist, why this shook physics. The QHE isn't just a lab trick. It exposed a hidden layer of reality, fractional QAA, even weirder. At stronger fields, electrons fractionalize into quasi-particles with 1/3 to 5 extra of an electron's charge. These aren't real particles. They're emergent quantum ghosts, too. Topological insulators, spin-off tech. Materials that conduct only on the surface, insulating inside, owe their existence to QOG insights. 3. The resistance paradox. Normally, resistance comes from electron scattering. In QOG, zero scattering occurs, yet resistance is quantized. The psychological trap. Why your brain rejects this electricity should be messy. Key is absurdly clean. Particles should be whole. Fractional charges mock this. By the time you accept it, you're questioning if anything is truly fundamental. How to explain it to a skeptic. The quantum highway analogy. Electrons normally drive like drunk college students. In QHE, they merge into a perfect convoy on an indestructible freeway. The fractional pizza rule. Normally, you can't have 1/3 of an electron. In FQHE, it's like slicing a pizza, where the toppings rearrange into new mini pizzas. The unbreakable hula hoop test edge, States are like a hula hoop that never falls no matter how you wiggle. The ultimate horror. The quantum Hall effect whispers, reality has hidden blueprints. Particles are just suggestions. And physics has been playing 4D chess while we studied checkers, because the darkest quantum truths don't just defy expectations. They rewrite the rulebook mid-game. Key numbers. Integer, QHE. Resistance, Canadian integer. Fractional, Q, e.g. 1, 3, 2, 1. At the heart of the universe lies a tantalizing possibility. All fundamental forces, except gravity, might be different faces of a single, primordial superforce. This is the dream of a grand unified theory, GUT, a framework that would merge electromagnetism, the weak nuclear force, and the strong nuclear force into one elegant equation. But after decades of searching, GUT remains the most beautiful idea physics can't prove. The problem: why forces need unifying. 1. The force fracture. Early universe. Age 10 to 36 sec. After Big Bang. Forces were unified at 10 Bogiap, a trillion times hotter than the LHC. Today, they've frozen into distinct interactions. Electromagnetism, its weak force, strong force, gluons. 2. The Cole-Decluse coupling. Constants. At high energies, the strengths of the three forces almost converge, hinting at unification, matter. Unification. Quarks and leptons may be fragments of a single GUT particle. 3. The missing link proton decay. Most GUTs predict protons should decay lifetime 1034 years, but we've never seen it. The contenders and their problems. SU5 GUT, the simplest try, merges forces into a single SU5 symmetry group. Predicted proton decay via Pt++ P0. Problem. Experiments Super Kamiokande ruled out its predicted decay rate. 2. SO10 GUT, the ambitious upgrade. Adds right-handed neutrinos, explains neutrino mass. Bonus. Predicts matter-antimatter asymmetry. Problem. And even harder to test. 3. Supersymmetric gets the Hail Mary. Add super partners to all particles. Pros. Solves hierarchy problem, improves unification. Cons. No sign of supersymmetry at the LHC. The dark twist. Why this matters. A GUT isn't just math, it's a key to the universe's infants. Matter wins over antimatter. GUT could explain why we exist via leptogenesis, barogenesis. 2. Magnetic monopoles. Some GUTs predict singular north-south magnetic particles. If found, they'd be smoking gun evidence. 3. The desert problem. Between the electro-weak scale 102 GeV and GUT scale, nothing interesting happens, just barren energy desert. The psychological trap, why we can't let go. The math is too pretty. Symmetry demands unification. Nature should be elegant. Having three separate forces feels messy. By the time you accept it might not exist, you've wasted your career. How to explain it to a frustrated student? The iceberg analogy. The forces we see are just the tip of a hidden, unified structure. The broken vase rule. The early universe was a perfect vase. Today, we're gluing shards back together. The cosmic clock test. If forces unify at 10 second GeV, why is the Higgs mass so low? Hierarchy problem. The ultimate horror. The grand unified theory whispers, the universe might not make sense at all. Scales, protons could decay tomorrow. And you're just a temporary fluctuation in a fractured cosmos. Because the darkest truth in physics isn't that we're wrong, it's that the universe might not care about being unified. Key numbers. Gut scale. GeV proton lifetime predicted greater than trillion years. In 1935, Einstein, Podolsky, and Rosen dropped a bombshell. Quantum mechanics must be incomplete. Their thought experiment, now called the EPAR paradox, claimed to expose a fatal flaw in quantum theory. Instead, it accidentally proved quantum mechanics is even weirder than anyone imagined, and birthed the field of quantum entanglement. The setup, a quantum betrayal. The thought experiment. Imagine two particles created together, perfectly correlated, e.g., opposite spin. Separate them by light years, measure one spin, instantly know the others, faster than light. Einstein's outrage, spooky action at a distance. This seemed to violate relativity, no faster than light signals. EPR argued the particles must have hidden properties determining outcomes. 3. Bohr's retort. Shut up and calculate. Quantum mechanics says, no hidden variables. The particles genuinely have no definite state until measured. The dark twist. Einstein was wrong, but brilliantly so. The EPAR paradox wasn't just philosophy. It forced quantum mechanics to prove itself. 1. Bell's theorem. John Bell derived a mathematical test. If hidden variables exist, correlations between particles can't exceed a limit. Quantum mechanics violates this limit. Experiments. Aspect 82. Zeilinger, 2 Nobel. Repeatedly confirmed. Quantum correlations do exceed classical limits. Translation? Einstein's hidden variables don't exist. 3. The quantum victory. Reality is non-local. Entangled particles are instantly connected. Without communication. The psychological trap. Why your brain rejects this. Causality should respect light speed. Quantum mechanics laughs at light cones. Objects should have definite properties. Entanglement says, not until you look. By the time you accept it, you're questioning if space is even real. How to explain it to a skeptic? The quantum dice analogy. Roll 2 entangled dice. Classically, they're already 1 in 6. You just don't know. Quantumly, they're both all numbers until measured, then instantly sync. The twin telepathy test. Imagine twins separated at birth. One shaves their head, the other's hair falls out instantly. No signal sent, just quantum fate. The cosmic conspiracy rule entanglement isn't action at a distance. It's the universe admitting it has no distance. The ultimate horror. The EPR paradox whispers, reality is not locally real. Space might be an illusion, and you're just a momentary observation in a web of quantum lies. Because the darkest truths don't just challenge physics, they erase the stage it plays on. Key equation, Bell's inequality. See, you point a radio telescope at empty space, and instead of silence, you hear a faint hiss from the dawn of time. This is the cosmic microwave background. CM, the afterglow of the Big Bang, cooled over 13.8 billion years into microwaves. It's the oldest light in the universe, a baby picture of reality taken when everything was just 3 terrestrial years old. How it works. The universe's first light, the Big Bang's flashbulb. Early universe equals opaque plasma, electrons and photons endlessly scattering. At 3,000 years, it cooled enough for atoms to form. Light finally escaped the stretch of time. That light started as visible IR, but cosmic expansion redshifted it 1,000x into microwaves, now at 2.7 K3, the perfect blackbody. The CMB's spectrum matches near-perfect thermal radiation, proof the early universe was uniformly hot. The dark twist, why this rewrote cosmology. The CMB isn't just ancient light, it's a time capsule of cosmic secrets. Inflation's fingerprints, tiny temperature fluctuations, 1 part in 100,000, reveal quantum seeds stretched by inflation into galaxies. The universe's blueprint CMB maps show ordinary matter, dark energy set the axis of evil. Some CMB patterns align weirdly, hinting at pre-Big Bang physics or just statistical flukes. The psychological trap, why your brain ignores this. Space feels empty, but you're bathed in Big Bang radiation right now. Time seems linear. The CMB is a message from the first cosmic instant. By the time you accept it, you're just a ripple in an ancient afterglow. How to explain it to a 5-year-old? The campfire embers analogy. The CMB is like warmth from a long-dead fire, the Big Bang. The universe's baby photo test, a blurry snapshot of reality's first day of school. The static on Grandma's TV. Rule, one of old TV static, was the Big Bang screaming at you. The ultimate horror. The CMB whispers, you're standing in a graveyard of light. The universe forgot its first moments, except this echo, and one day, even this will fade to silence. Because the darkest cosmic truths aren't just ancient, they're written in the static of your existence. Key numbers. Temperature, 2.0 shift, Z, 100. At the heart of pure mathematics lies a 160-year-old enigma, the Riemann hypothesis, a conjecture about the zeros of the Riemann zeta function with profound implications for the distribution of prime numbers. But buried in its abstract depths, physicists have stumbled upon a bizarre connection to quantum chaos, energy levels, and even string theory. This isn't just number theory, it's a ghostly bridge between math and physical reality. How it works. The quantum math crossover 1. The zeta function's hidden music. The Riemann zeta function has elements in its non-trivial zeros when all lie on the critical line if the hypothesis is true. 2. Quantum chaos and energy levels. The distribution of Riemann mimics the energy levels of chaotic quantum systems, e.g., a hydrogen atom in a strong magnetic field. Montgomery-Odlyzko law. The gaps between zeros match random matrix theory, a tool used in nuclear physics. String theory's surprise cameo. In some string models, the Riemann zeta function appears in scattering amplitudes, hinting at a deeper link between primes and quantum gravity. The dark twist, why this terrifies mathematicians and physicists. The Riemann hypothesis isn't just a math problem. It might encode the universe's secrets. 1. A prime number conspiracy. If true, primes are maximally random, yet obey strict statistical order. Physics parallel. Quantum systems look chaotic, but have hidden symmetries. The Hilbert-Polya dream. Some suspect Riemann zeros are eigenvalues of an unknown quantum operator. If found, it could unify number theory and quantum mechanics. The Riemann holography connection? Speculative idea. The zeta function encodes a holographic universe where primes equal fundamental pixels. The psychological trap. Why your brain? Short circuits. Math should be abstract, but these zeros haunt physics labs. Primes should be boring, yet they echo in quantum chaos. By the time you grasp the link, you're questioning if math invented reality. How to explain it to a frustrated physicist? The quantum drum analogy. Riemann zeros equals allowed notes on a drum made of bass time. Primes equals the drum's hidden harmonics. The prime number telescope. Studying primes might be like reverse engineering the universe's source code. The $1 million question. The Clay Institute offers $1 for a proof, but the real price it is rewriting physics. The ultimate horror. The Riemann hypothesis whispers, math might be the universe's operating system. Primes could be quantum gravity's alphabet. And you're just a temporary glitch in a prime number algorithm. Because the darkest truths aren't just unsolved, they're waiting to dissolve the boundary between math and reality. Key equation. Riemann zeta function, Zeiss-Nins, N1, NS, 1 critical line conjecture. All non-trivial zeros have Res 21. You watch a quantum system constantly, and it never changes. A radioactive atom never decays. A spinning particle never flips. This is the quantum Zeno effect, the bizarre phenomenon where frequent measurements halt time's flow for a quantum state. It's named after Zeno's ancient paradox, where motion is impossible if you keep dividing time. But in the quantum world, it's real, and it breaks intuition, how it works. Observation as a quantum freeze ray, the measurement trap. In quantum mechanics, observation collapses a system's wave function. If you measure a system before it can evolve, it resets to its initial state. The math of frozen time survival probability after n rapid measurements pitched 1 dead and n gibt 1 2 dth 2 n 1h is 2 Hamiltonian energy operator. Dut x time between measurements. Translation: infinite measurements. Evolution stops. Real-world examples. Atoms in traps. Observed frequently, they stay excited instead of decaying. Qubits in quantum computers. Measured often, they resist errors. The dark twist. Why this terrifies physicists. The Zeno effect isn't just a lab trick. It challenges reality's fabric. 1. Time's illusion. If observation freezes change, does time require ignorance? The Antizino effect sometimes. Measurements accelerate decay, like a quantum reverse psychology. 3. Quantum immortality. Hypothetically, continuous self-observation could delay death. Schrödinger's cat's cheat code. The psychological trap. Why your brain rejects this time should flow. The Zeno effect says, only if you stop looking. Causality should be robust. Quantum mechanics says, it's fragile under gaze. By the time you accept it, you're afraid to blink. How to explain it to a skeptic? The microwave popcorn analogy. A kernel pops at random, but if you open the microwave every second, it never pops. Wave function resets. The quantum chicken test. The watched pot does boil, but a watched quantum state freezes. The Schrödinger's stopwatch rule time only passes for a quantum system when you're not looking. The ultimate horror. The quantum Zeno effect whispers, reality is a slideshow, not a movie. Attention equals stasis. And you're just a sequence of frozen moments pretending to move. Because the darkest quantum truths don't just defy intuition, they erase the stage it plays on. Key equation, Zeno survival probability. 2. For frequent measurements. You flip a quantum coin, heads or tails. But according to the many worlds interpretation, MWI, the universe branches into two copies, one where it lands heads, another where it lands tails. Every quantum decision spawns new realities, infinitely multiplying timelines where every possible outcome plays out. This isn't sci-fi. It's quantum mechanics without collapse, just wave functions endlessly splitting. How it works. Quantum reality's fractal tree. No wave function collapse. Like the Copenhagen interpretation, MB says, the wave function never collapses. All outcomes actually happen in parallel worlds. Decoherence was the illusion of one reality. When a quantum system interacts with its environment, its branches stop interfering. You only perceive one branch, but others still exist. The math is simpler, but the consequences are wild. MWI removes the need for observers or collapse postulates. The price? Infinite copies of you, some living dreams, others nightmares. The dark twist, why this terrifies and excites physicists. But WI isn't just philosophy, it rewrites existence. 1. Quantum suicide and immortality. In a branching multiverse, you always survive in some world, even if you play Russian roulette. But does you even mean anything with Sue? The measure problem. If all outcomes happen, why do we see this one? Possible answer, self-locating uncertainty. You're just one copy in a sea of possibilities. 3. The Fermi paradox solution. Maybe aliens did evolve, but we're in a branch where they didn't. The psychological trap. Why your brain rejects this. Reality should be singular. Why says it's a fractal. Identity should be stable. MI says you're infinitely splintering. By the time you accept it, you're unsure if you made this choice or a copy did. How to explain it to a skeptic. The choose-your-own-adventure analogy. Every quantum decision splits the book into new pages. You only read one path, but all others are still written. The quantum traffic jam rule. Imagine roads branching at every intersection. WI says all routes are taken, just by different U's, the Schrodinger's multiverse. Test. The cat isn't dead or alive. It's both, in separate worlds. The ultimate horror. The many worlds, interpretation whispers. Every mistake you made was avoided in another world. Every tragedy was escaped elsewhere. And you're just one leaf on an infinite probability tree, because the darkest quantum truths don't just expand reality. They dissolve you into a statistical haze. Key equation? Universal wave function, upsets are no collapse. You take a black hole, a 3D cosmic monster, and discover that all its information is painted on its 2D surface. Now, imagine this isn't just a black hole quirk, but a fundamental law of reality. A higher dimensional universe is perfectly encoded on a lower dimensional boundary. This is the ADS-CFT correspondence, the most revolutionary idea in theoretical physics since relativity. It suggests that our 3D world might be a holographic projection from a 2D edge, and it's the closest thing we have to a theory of quantum gravity, how it works. A duality that defies dimensions. The two sides of the mirror, anti-de Sitter space, ADS. A 5D universe with negative curvature like an infinite gravity well. Conformal field theory, CFT, a 4D quantum theory living on ADS's boundary. The claim, these are mathematically equivalent. The holographic principle in action. A black hole's entropy scales with its surface area, not volume, Bekenstein-Hawking. ADS-CFT extends this to the entire universe, suggesting information is fundamentally 2D3, quantum gravity's Rosetta Stone. Normally, quantum mechanics, CFT and gravity, ADS, refuse to talk. ADS-CFT translates between them, like turning quantum chaos into curved spacetime. The dark twist, why this rewrites reality. ADS-CFT isn't just math, it threatens our perception of existence. Oh, the bulk is an illusion. The 3D world you see might be a shadow of 2D quantum data. Example, a falling object in ADS information scrambling in the CFT2. Wormholes, quantum entanglement. Two black holes connected by a wormhole, Einstein-Rosen bridge, are just entangled particles in the CFT. Space-time is quantum entanglement. The universe is a quantum error-correcting code. Adds hints that space-time emerges from quantum redundancy, like a cosmic RAID array, the psychological trap. Why your brain rejects this space should be real. ADS-CFT says it's a rendering. Dimensions should be fixed. ADS-CFT says they're negotiable. By the time you accept it, you're unsure if you are real or just data. How to explain it to a mortal? The DVD versus movie analogy. The 2D CFT is the DVD encoded data. The 3D ads is the movie projected illusion. The quantum origami rule. Fold a 2D paper, CFT just right, and it pops into 3D adds. The holographic prison test. Hey, you think you're a 3D being, but you're just a shadow on the cosmic cell wall. The ultimate horror. The ADS CFT correspondence whispers, reality is a lower dimensional lie. Space-time is a collective hallucination. And you're just a fluctuation in a quantum hard drive. Because the darkest truths don't just bend physics, they erase the stage it plays on. Key equation ADS Cup Dictionary. Zifiets fixats petition functions match. You look around at planets, stars, your own hands, and realize everything you see shouldn't exist. After the Big Bang, matter and antimatter should have annihilated completely, leaving behind only pure light. Yet here we are, in a universe dominated by matter. This is the baryon asymmetry problem, and its solution may reveal why reality exists at all. The problem, nature's broken mirror, the Big Bang's expected outcome. For every quark created, there should have been an antiquark, matter plus antimatter, annihilation into photons. Predicted result, a dark, empty quintus, 2, the actual universe. For every 10 billion matter-antimatter pairs, matter particles survived. That 1 in 10 billion imbalance is why galaxies, planets, and life exist. Cool. Sakharov's 3 conditions. For asymmetry to occur, the universe needed baryon number violation, processes that create more matter than antimatter, and CP violation, matter and antimatter must behave differently, departure from thermal equilibrium, a freeze-out moment. The leading theories, all strange, leptogenesis, heavy right-handed neutrinos decay asymmetrically, creating more matter. Evidence? Neutrino oscillations show matter-antimatter differences. CP violation. 2. Guttberg's genesis. Grand unified theories predict proton decay plus matter-antimatter asymmetry. Problem: no observed proton decay yet. Electroweak baryogenesis. The Higgs Field's phase transition could have trapped extra matter. Issue: LHC data suggests this wasn't strong enough alone. Primordial black hole. Early black holes ate more antimatter, leaving matter behind, wild but untested. The dark twist, why this matters. The baryon asymmetry isn't just academic, it defines existence. Without it, no atoms, total annihilation, no stars, no planets, no you. It hints at new physics. The standard model can't fully explain it. We're missing something big. 3. The universe is a fossil. That 1 in 10 billion ratio is a relic of the first nanosecond. The psychological trap. Why your brain ignores this. Matter feels normal, but statistically it's a cosmic error. Antimatter seems exotic, yet it's equally fundamental. By the time you accept it, you realize your existence is a glitch. How to explain it to a 5-year-old? The Cookie Monster analogy. Imagine 2 cookie jars, matter, antimatter. The monster ate almost all pairs, but left 1 crumb, our universe. the broken vending machine rule. The Big Bang was a machine that should dispense equal snacks, but it jammed, giving extra matter. The quantum coin toss test, flipping a coin 10 billion times, should give 50-50. Our universe is like getting 5 billion heads and 5 billion plus one tails. The ultimate horror. Baryon asymmetry whispers, reality is a rounding error. You're the residue of an ancient imbalance. And the cosmos, it's a near-perfect cancellation that almost didn't happen. Because the darkest truth isn't that we exist, it's that we shouldn't. Key numbers. Matter-antimatter ratio, 1:10:1. When it happened, 1 nanosecond after Big Bang. You perform a double-slit experiment, but with a twist. You mark which slit a photon passes through, then later erase that information. Suddenly, the interference pattern reappears, as if the photon retroactively changes its behavior, based on what you will know in the future. This is the quantum eraser experiment, the most mind-bending demonstration that quantum events aren't fixed until they're observed, and that now might not be as absolute as you think. How it works. A time-delayed quantum paradox, the original double-slit weirdness. Photons fired at 2 slits create an interference pattern, wave behavior. If you measure which slit they take, the pattern collapses. Particle behavior. The delayed choice. Twist, step 1. Use entangled photons. One goes through the slits, signal. The other is kept, idler. Step 2. Mark the signal photon's path by correlating it with the idler. Step 3. After the signal photon hits the detector, erase the idler's path info. Result. The interference pattern comes back, as if the photon decided to act like a wave after it was already detected. The math of retroactive reality. The system's quantum state remains coherent until the idler's info is erased or observed. No erasure. Which path info? Particle-like, no interference. Erasure, lost info is wave-like. Interference returns, the dark twist. Why this terrifies physicists. The quantum eraser isn't just a lab trick. It challenges causality itself. Time-symmetric quantum mechanics. The future eraser choice seems to affect the past, photons' earlier behavior. Interpretation. Quantum events aren't fixed until all info is accounted for. The delayed choice paradox. What if the eraser is light years away? Does the photon know its fate before the eraser acts? Reality as a pending transaction. Universe might keep quantum options open until all possible info is irreversibly recorded. The psychological trap, why your brain short-circuits. Causality should flow forward. The eraser suggests quantum time is bidirectional. The past should be fixed. Quantum mechanics says, not until you stop looking. By the time you accept it, you're unsure if you are the experimenter or the experiment. How to explain it to a skeptic? The quantum receipt analogy. A photon is like a purchase pending on your credit card. The eraser is like canceling the transaction. It's as if the purchase never happened. the Schrodinger's hard drive. Test. Saving of bus which path measurement. Deleting the backup equal erasure. Restoring quantum interference in the data. The time-traveling detective rule. A detective, idler photon, could solve the crime which slit. But if you burn their notes, the mystery resets. The ultimate horror. The quantum eraser whispers, the past is mutable until the last witness dies. Reality is a draft, not a final copy. And you're just a temporary observer in a game of quantum revisionism, because the darkest truths don't just bend time, they prove it was never linear to begin with. Key equation, entangled state, plus 812, LSR, SLI plus is over 2 cell has SR, I plus SL, signal photon, I equal idler photon. Erasing which path info restores interference. You shield an electron from all electromagnetic fields. No electric field, no magnetic field, yet its behavior still changes just by being near a region where those fields could have been. This is the Aharonov-Bohm-Obie effect, a quantum phenomenon where particles respond to electromagnetic potentials, not just forces, EB. It proves that the universe remembers what you can't see, and that reality is woven from deeper, invisible threads. How it works. Quantum whispers in the void, the classical illusion. Normally, physicists thought only electric and magnetic B fields mattered. The potentials, APH, were just math tools until the AB effect proved otherwise. 2. The quantum reality, even when B 0 and T 0 in the electron's path, the vector potential, A, still affects its phase. O8AX O4 E. This phase shift causes interference fringes to shift in a double-slit experiment. The experiment, once confirmed, electrons pass around a long solenoid, shielded so B go outside. Despite no field, their interference pattern shifts, proving A is real. The dark twist. Why these rewrites physics? The AB effect isn't just a quirk. It exposes a hidden layer of reality. Fields are not fundamentally in B, are derivatives of A and P. The potentials are the true players. Non-localities, quiet. Cousin the electron feels A without local field interactions, hinting at quantum wholeness. The gauge theory revolution, the AB effect forced physics to accept gauge potentials as physical, paving the way for quantum electrodynamics, QED. The standard model, string theory's higher dimensional forms. The psychological trap, why your brain rejects these forces should require fields. The AB effect says, the shadow is enough. Empty space should be empty. Quantum mechanics says it's full of invisible scaffolding. By the time you accept it, you're questioning if anything is truly local. How to explain it to a skeptic? The invisible river analogy. Imagine a boat electron floating past a hidden current, A. Though the water looks still, the boat's path is deflected. The quantum GPS rule. The electron doesn't need to feel a field, it just remembers where fields could be. The dark traffic light test. A traffic light is off, no EB, but the wiring, A, still tells cars where to go. The ultimate horror. The Aharonov-Bohm effect whispers, reality is governed by ghosts. The universe keeps ledgers we can't see. And you're just a fluctuation in a potential you'll never perceive. Because the darkest truths don't just hide in the shadows, they are the shadows. Key equation, phase shift, facts, imagine a material where electrons flow without resistance, not because they're superconducting, but because they're locked into one-way quantum highways, immune to bumps, defects, or even disorder. This is the quantum spin Hall effect, QSHE, a bizarre state of matter where electrons with opposite spins move in opposite directions, creating a topologically protected flow that never scatters. It's like a quantum version of divided traffic, where spin replaces lanes and accidents are forbidden by the laws of physics. How it works: spin-polarized superhighways, spin-orbit coupling, the quantum traffic COP. In certain materials, like HGGT, CDTE, quantum wells, electrons experience strong spin-orbit coupling. Their motion depends on their spin P or H. Result: spin-up electrons move left, spin-down move right. No U-turns allowed. 2. Topological protection, the unbreakable rule. These edge states are topologically protected like a Mobius strip. They can't be unwound without breaking fundamental symmetry. Disorder, impurities, doesn't matter. The electrons never backscatter. 3. The first observation, 2007. Predicted by Kane and Mealy. 2000, confirmed experimentally in HGTE quantum wells, ushering in the era of topological insulators. The dark twist, why this changes everything. She isn't just a lab curiosity. It rewrites the rules of electronics, fault-tolerant quantum computing, topological qubits, e.g. Majorana fermions, could be immune to decoherence. 2. The perfect wire dream. No energy loss. Ultra-low-power electronics. 3. Beyond electrons, photonics, and cold atoms. The same physics applies to light, photonic crystals, and ultra-cold atoms, hinting at universal topological behavior. The psychological trap, why your brain rejects this current should scatter. Q, she says, not on my watch. Spin should be fragile. Here, it's the ultimate traffic director. By the time you accept it, you're questioning why all wires aren't this perfect, how to explain it to a 5-year-old. The quantum freeway analogy. Spin up electrons, left lane only. Spin down electrons, right lane only. No exits, no collisions. The unbreakable toy train rule. The track's edge states can't be derailed, even if you throw rocks, impurities. The spin traffic light test. Red light, it should spin up. Green light, it should spin down. No yellow light, no stopping. The ultimate horror, the quantum spin Hall effect, whispers, perfection is possible. The universe has error-correcting codes baked into space-time. And our clunky, lossy electronics, a primitive phase will soon outgrow. Because the darkest truths don't just defy expectations. They expose how flawed our normal reality really is. Key equation, Venturian number, C equals C, topological invariant. You can't pirate a quantum state. No matter how advanced your technology, it's impossible to perfectly copy an unknown quantum state. This is the no-cloning theorem, a fundamental law that protects quantum information from being duplicated, ensuring the security of quantum cryptography and crushing any hope of quantum Xerox machines. How it works. The Quantum Copy Protection Scheme 1. The Theorem, 1982, Wouters and Zurich. Given an unknown quantum state, claim, there is no unitary operation U that can clone it. Abs, lera, or abs, for arbitrary, abs, or abs, for arbitrary, Translation. You can't build a machine that takes psik and spits out two perfect copies. Why? It's impossible. Quantum states live in superpositions. Cloning would require measuring the state, but measurement collapses it, destroying the original. The loophole. What can be copied? Known states. If is already known, you can prepare copies. Approximate cloning. You can make imperfect copies, but never perfect ones. The dark twist. Why this matters. The no-cloning theorem isn't just a technicality. It shapes the future of information. 1. Quantum cryptography's superpower. Quantum key distribution, QKD, relies on no cloning. Eavesdroppers can't copy quantum signals without detection. 2. Quantum computing's bottleneck error correction must work without cloning, hence entanglement and redundancy. Key. The death of quantum piracy. You can't steal a quantum state, only destroy it in the attempt. The psychological trap. Why your brain hates this. Copying should be easy. Quantum mechanics says, not here. Information should be free. No cloning enforces quantum DRM. By the time you accept it, you realize even knowledge has limits. How to explain it to a skeptic. The quantum photocopier analogy. A classical copier scans and prints. A quantum copier must measure to copy, but measuring destroys the original. The Schrödinger's USB test. Copying a quantum file is like trying to clone a cat in a box. You have to open it first. The monkey typewriter rule. Even with infinite tries, you can't perfectly recreate an unknown quantum state. The ultimate horror. The no-cloning theorem whispers, some secrets just can't be stolen. Some knowledge can't be replicated. And you're just a temporary observer in a no-piracy universe. Because the darkest quantum truths don't just limit technology. They limit what it means to know. Key equation, no cloning condition. You set up a cosmic scale double-slit experiment where a photon from a distant quasar must decide now whether to act like a particle or a wave. But here's the catch. You wait until after it's already traveled for billions of years before choosing how to measure it. This is Wheeler's delayed choice experiment, a thought experiment later confirmed in labs, proving that a quantum particle's past behavior isn't fixed until you observe it, even if that observation happens after the event should be over. Or how it works. Quantum retrocausality. Simot, the cosmic double slit a photon from a quasar passes a galaxy, which gravitationally lenses it, like a double slit. By the time it reaches Earth, it's been traveling for billions of years. Quote, the delayed choice, option 1. Place a detector to see which path it took. Particle behavior. Option 2. Set up an interferometer to measure wave interference. Wave behavior. The twist. You decide after the photon has already passed the galaxy. The mind-blowing radical assault. The photon's behavior, wave or particle, matches the future measurement choice. It's as if the photon retroactively decides how it should have behaved billions of years ago. The dark twist. Why this terrifies physicists. Wheeler's experiment isn't just philosophy. It erases the line between past and future. 1. Quantum time loops. The present seems to rewrite the past, or at least our knowledge of it. The death of objective reality. If a photon's history isn't fixed until measured, was there ever a real past? The simulation argument. This feels like a universe rendering events on demand to save computational power. The psychological trap. Why your brain rejects this causality should flow forward. Quantum mechanics says time is a suggestion. The past should be immutable. Wheeler says it's a quantum draft until finalized. By the time you accept it, you're unsure if you are the observer or the observed. How to explain it to a skeptic? The quantum credit card analogy. A photon's path is like a pending transaction. It's not real until the bank you approves it. The Schrodinger's fossil test. Discovering a dinosaur bone now might retroactively decide if it died in a landslide or flood millions of years ago. The cosmic DVD menu rule. The universe is like a DVD where the ending changes based on which button you press. The ultimate horror. Wheeler's delayed choice whispers, reality is a choose-your-own-adventure book. The past is just a story we tell ourselves. And you're not just reading the book, you're writing it as you go. Because the darkest quantum truths don't just bend tot, they prove it was never linear to begin with. Key quote, the past has no existence, except as it is recorded in the present. John Wheeler. You float in empty space, no stars, no matter, just pure vacuum. To you, it feels cold and lifeless. But if you accelerate to near light speed, something bizarre happens. Your thermometer spikes. The void around you bursts into a blazing heat bath filled with particles that shouldn't exist. This is the Unruh effect, a quantum phenomenon where acceleration creates particles from nothingness. It reveals that empty space is an illusion. What you perceive depends on how you move, how it works. Acceleration as a cosmic furnace. 1. The quantum vacuum isn't empty. Empty space teems with virtual particles, quantum fluctuations. Normally, they cancel out unless you accelerate. 2. Relativity meets quantum weirdness. An accelerating observer warps their perception of time and space, turning virtual particles into real detectable radiation. Temperature felt by the observer, always acceleration. Result, at 1g Earth gravity, 1020 K to 1020 undetectable. At 1020 g 20 gators near black hole acceleration, T1 million, Kate million hockey, a particle inferno. 3. The Hawking connection. Unruh radiation is the flat space cousin of Hawking radiation. Both show that particles emerge from motion through space-time. The dark twist. Why this rewrites reality. The Unruh effect isn't just math. It challenges our deepest assumptions. Yes, reality is observer-dependent. A stationary astronaut sees empty space. An accelerating astronaut sees a plasma bath. Who's right? Both. Reality is relative. The firewall paradox. If falling into a black hole feels like smooth freefall, relativity, but hovering near it cooks you, Unruh/Hawking, what happens at the horizon? 3. Quantum gravity's smoking gun. Unruh radiation depends on quantum fields plus acceleration, hinting at how gravity might emerge from quantum effects. The psychological trap. Why your brain rejects this vacuum should be empty. Unruh says, only if you're lazy. Particles should be real. Unruh says, they're just motion artifacts. By the time you accept it, you're unsure if you are the detector or the detected. How to explain it to a skeptic. The quantum wind tunnel analogy. Floating in space, equals standing still in a windless room. Accelerating, sprinting into the hurricane of virtual particles turned real. The cosmic treadmill test. Run fast enough on a cosmic treadmill and the void catches fire around you. The Schrödinger sauna rule. Whether space is hot or cold depends entirely on how hard you're pushing through it. The ultimate horror. The Unruh effect whispers. The universe is a hall of mirrors. Motion creates matter. And you're just a flickering measurement in an accelerating frame. Because the darkest truths don't just bend physics. They prove reality is a matter of perspective. Key equation, raw. Temperature, pockets. You stare into empty space. No stars, no matter, just pure void. But what looks like nothingness is actually a seething quantum foam where particles and energy blip in and out of existence, borrowing from the universe on credit. This is the reality of quantum vacuum fluctuations, the bizarre consequence of Heisenberg's uncertainty principle that ensures even empty space is never truly empty. How it works. The universe's zero-point chaos 1. The uncertainty principle's debt system. Heisenberg says, energy x time, h crush 2. Translation. For tiny time intervals, energy can't be precisely zero, so particles borrow energy, exist briefly, then vanish. Virtual particles. The universe's pop-up adds particle-antiparticle pairs, electrons and positrons, quarks and antiquarks, constantly emerge and annihilate. They're called virtual because they can't be directly observed, but their effects are real. The Lamb shift and Casimir Effect Lamb Kim shift. Tiny energy shifts in hydrogen atoms prove vacuum fluctuations distort electron orbits. Casimir Effect. Two metal plates in a vacuum attract each other because virtual particles outside push harder than those between them. The dark twist. Why this changes everything. Quantum vacuum fluctuations aren't just theoretical. They define the fabric of reality. Dark energy's nightmare. Summing up all vacuum energy predicts a universe 120 times more energetic than observed. This cosmological constant problem is the biggest mismatch in physics. Black holes shine, hawking radiation. Near an event horizon, virtual pairs get split. One falls in, the other escapes as real radiation. The universe might be a fluke. If vacuum fluctuations had slightly different rules, atoms wouldn't form and life couldn't exist. The psychological trap. Why your brain ignores this. Empty space should be empty. Quantum mechanics says it's a casino where energy cheats. Particles should be permanent. The vacuum says everything's on loan. By the time you accept it, you realize you're made of borrowed time. How to explain it to a skeptic? The quantum payday loan analogy. Virtual particles are like taking out a cosmic loan. As long as you repay it fast enough, H/DE, the universe doesn't care. The static on the cosmic radio test. The vacuum isn't silent. It's white noise of particles flickering in, out. The Schrödinger's bank account rule. Your energy balance is both positive and negative until the universe checks. The ultimate horror. Quantum vacuum fluctuations whisper, nothing is ever still. Reality runs on IOUs. And you're just a temporary fluctuation in a sea of debt. Because the darkest truths don't just defy emptiness, they erase it. Key equation. Heisenberg's energy team uncertainty, dE to ET, H2. In 1928, Paul Dirac wrote down an equation so radical that it predicted antimatter before it was discovered, forced physics to accept spin as fundamental, and revealed that reality is fundamentally relativistic. This is the Dirac equation, the quantum mechanical love child of Einstein's relativity and Schrödinger's wave mechanics, and it changed physics forever. How it works. The quantum relativistic revolution won Schrödinger's fatal flaw. The Schrödinger equation ignores relativity, vain for electrons and atoms, but useless near light speed. Dirac's goal: make quantum mechanics relativistic. The equation that broke physics, four by four matrices, encoding spin and relativity, some four-component spine are not a scalar, a clue to spin one's half particles. The shocking consequences: spin falls out naturally. Previous kick, spin was tacked on. Dirac, spin is baked into space-time's geometry. Negative energy solutions. Dirac first thought this was a flaw until antimatter was discovered. Tyrrell Anderson. Electron G factor 2 predicted exactly before experiments confirmed it. The dark twist. Why this terrified physicists. Dirac's equation wasn't just math, It forced reality to get weirder. Once, the Dirac sea, a failed masterpiece. Dirac's original fix for negative energy. All negative energy states are filled, an infinite sea of electrons. A hole in the sea is a positron, antimatter. Problem: quantum field theory, QFT, later made this obsolete, but the prediction worked. Antimatter's birth certificate. Dirac didn't want antimatter. His equation demanded it. Today, antimatter is real. PT scans, LHC collisions, the fine structure constant. Dirac's equation perfectly predicts hydrogen's energy levels, including relativistic corrections. The psychological trap. Why your brain struggles. Particles should be simple. Dirac says they're 4D spinors. Energy should be positive. Dirac says antimatter laughs at that. By the time you accept it, you realize nothing in quantum mechanics is intuitive. How to explain it to a skeptic? The quantum Swiss Army knife analogy. Schrödinger's equation equal a butter knife. Dirac's equation is a multi-tool with spin, relativity, and antimatter blades. The mirror universe test. If electrons are right-handed, positrons are left-handed, Dirac's equation requires this symmetry, the equation that predicted the future, rule. Dirac didn't invent antimatter. He unlocked it from pure math, the ultimate horror. The Dirac equation whispers, reality is deeper than we perceive. Every particle has a shadow, and you're just a fluctuation in a relativistic quantum field. Because the darkest truths don't just explain nature, they force it to reveal its secrets. Key equation, Dirac equation, arguem m.